think it's a mixture of a real personal reference, but also a chance to kind of send a message out to everyone that, as things get tough, just keep your hands up and stand tall, right? And you're not going to get hurt. Protect yourself, defend yourself. It can get a little rough out there. And as that happens, try to stand tall like sycamores. Like sycamores.
It's showtime, folks.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Into the Music. How's everyone doing? Yeah, doing okay. Hanging in there. Crazy out there, right? It's a lot of good stuff out there too. The bad news usually, and it's really, some of it's crazy bad, insane. But it's going to hit the telly, the airwaves. It's going to be on social media everywhere. You got to search out the good stuff. There's good stuff out there in the world. Got to have some balance, otherwise all the crap is just going to drive us crazy. So with that said, Roland D is trying to balance out my life by giving me an amazing song. At least I'm hoping so. Roland is making this request on my KoFi site, where I am guaranteed to react to. I can't get out of it. Even if I wanted to, I can't. But I don't want to. Like I said, I'm looking for balance. And so will this give me that balance? Right? Because I think I'm actually in the mood for a really good song. To lift up my spirits, or just kind of, just take me somewhere. So I'm raising the bar really high now. Sycamore by Bill Callahan. Don't know the artist, don't know the song. So yeah, enough yapping, and let's get, I can't rhyme with that. Let's just get going on it. Love the guitars. Wow. Very pretty.
There's sap in the trees if you tap them. There's blood on the seas if you map them. Christian, if you see your papa, tell him I love him. He taught me to love in the wild and fight in the gym. He taught me the bottle gives birth to the cup. And you won't get hurt if you just keep your hands up. And stand tall, like sycamore. Like sycamore, like sycamore.
Loving the guitars on this song. Yeah. I love that style. Just picking the notes there within the chords. And from the acoustic, there's electric that comes in. Yeah, it's really nice. Nice balance there. Yeah. Still kind of getting used to learning about the song. Seems like a nice message there with the sycamore. And his voice, interesting. Let's see how the song plays out.
Sycamore got to grow down to grow up. Young roots hold the soil like baby's first cup. And when they bend you in two and say too green for the fire, when all you want to do is be a part of the fire, all you want to do is be the fire part of fire. Like sycamore, like sycamore, like sycamore.
Such a nice mix of electric and the acoustic. You know, right before, as he was going into the latest Sycamore, he had this guitar electric. It's just a nice balance. Really surprised by the guitars here. It's so good. Yeah.
There's sap in the trees if you tap 'em. There's blood on the seas if you map 'em. Christian, when I see your papa, I'll tell him you love him. And remember to love in the wild and fight in the gym. Remember the bottle gives birth to the cup. And you won't get hurt if you just keep your hands up. And stand tall. Like sycamore.
Wow. I'll explain that wow on the other side. So the wow is that I guess for like the first minute or so, I didn't know where I was going with that song. I didn't know if I was going to like it. It was so different than what I usually react to on this channel. You know, it's different than what a lot of people request of me. It's definitely something that's not normally in my wheelhouse, but it doesn't mean to say that I don't gravitate or like this kind of, I guess I wouldn't say it's soft rock. I mean, I said that earlier. I'm thinking it's more like, it definitely was like an indie sound, like a soft indie. I don't know if that's any kind of such genre out there, but definitely like an indie rock. His voice, I've got to admit, it got better. It sort of, I got used to it as the song went on. I'm not sure if it's going to be my cup of tea. That said, this song just absolutely grew on me, Roland. It really did. And it was was a couple of things. First off, the guitar, and I would say guitars, because he decided that he was just going to pick just a sort of note picking, in the rhythm. So the rhythm guitar wasn't going to do this kind of strum thing, but it was going to just accentuate and just hit every sort of, string note within that chord, within those chords. Not a lot of chords, what, 2, 3, 4 chords tops, but it was just picking out notes. Actually, I play guitar. I'm not saying I play well, but that is kind of my style. I like playing like that. So I connected with it right away. I like to really kind of, fill up each chord, and I like to just pick every sort of note. So that was really cool. And the fact that he did that on both acoustics, left ear, right ear. And then when the electric came in, and I think the electric came in every time he sang a verse, then everything shifted more to the electric guitar, if I'm not mistaken. And the note picking there, which is so good. And then when he did that Sycamore, I think that's when the acoustic guitars came in. Or was it after the chorus and then you had like the little bridge? I don't know. But it just kept shifting back and forth, made it interesting. So the guitars absolutely, it just entranced me. It's just something that sort of repetitive over and over and over, right? But it was a good thing. And I talked about this before. I mean, there's actually articles, there's studies on this, of how music, especially a cyclical kind of thing, the same sort of a P pattern of notes, chords, whatever. Even if it's just one simple chord, just straight throughout, it can go like on for 10 minutes, but if done really interestingly, it could actually really sort of entrance you, hypnotize you. And it definitely had that effect on me. It grew on me. It made the song really rich. It was like a warm song, almost like, the fireplace is on. I'm not necessarily saying it had to be cold and snow, but it just had this warm feeling. Maybe fall, the fireplace is on, but the music was really rich and warm that way. And so was the lyrics. I got to get into the lyrics because it sounds like a very positive message. I think the Sycamore is symbolic of maybe like life, the way that you should lead your life. He had a line in here about standing tall. So I mean, it was kind of hard to pick out the sort of like what he was saying because I was kind of like really into the music. But he's saying about stand tall towards the end like a sycamore, right? So I think this is a very sort of positive, feel good sort of message, but I want to get into that a little bit more in a couple of minutes. Yeah. And so those two things right there. And his voice, even though it's not my cup of tea, I mean, especially when he was going, maybe it's just like he was a sycamore, just stretching out like that. Not my favorite part. But maybe he's actually, but it's not a horrible voice. It's not a bad voice. I don't know, I had to get used to it. But I think as the song went on, I got used to it. And I can imagine that just like I sort of grew on the song within the 5 minutes, that when I go back to it, it's probably going to sign seal it with me when it comes to the vocals. And I'm sure, there's other stuff out there that he's singing that's kind of going to be sort of like the nail in it too, because I want to hear him on other songs. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I really like this. Roland, this was really good. I actually pulled up some information about Bill, so I don't know anything about him. And look at this, a 2007, a picture of him at ATP Festival. Okay. Let's see. He's also known as Smog, 1990 through 2007. So he's 56 years old, comes from Silver Spring, Maryland. I've been there. Genres, apocalyptic folk, gothic, country, lo-fi. What's lo-fi? Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to try to just shows me a picture. So he plays guitar, piano, keyboards, percussion, banjo. I'm not surprised by the banjo. Yeah, Bill Callahan, banjo player. American singer, songwriter, guitarist who has also recorded and performed under the name Smog. So Smog is like, is it a band or it's just kind of, it's sort of what he went by? Why would you actually name yourself Smog? Maybe Smug, but Smog. But yeah, Callahan began working in the lo-fi, this is wiki, lo-fi genre with homemade tape albums recorded on 4-track tape recorders. Later, he began releasing albums with the label Drag City, to which he remains signed today. His work, in addition to lo-fi music, has encompassed apocalyptic folk, and that is a form of experimental music, blending elements of folk and industrial music. All right. I don't know if I got that in here. And Gothic country. It combines alternative country, gospel, and blues with lyrical themes touching. I think I got that in here. I think it's kind of a folkish kind of indie sound. I'm sticking by that. But he did start out as a highly experimental artist, I guess, with that sort of, again, the lo-fi genre. His early songs lacked melodic structure and were clumsily played on poorly tuned guitars. So that's really interesting. What are we talking about now? So he started out in 1990. And when was the song? I've got to pull this up here. This was 2007. And it's off that album and the cover artwork on that video for the audio, that was really cool. I like that a lot. Really interesting. So he's got a lot of albums, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got like 10 plus albums under Smog. And then as Bill Callahan, Woke on a Whale Heart. Woke on a Whale Heart. That's the album that I was looking at, that whole entire song, 2007. And he's got close to 10 albums as just Bill Callahan. So maybe that's what happened. He went from Smog just back to Bill. And Bill was just like, I'm just going to play some good old sort of down to earth, folksy type songs. Interesting. This guy really seems very, very, very interesting. So that was 2007. And here we go about the song lyrics. What is it about? So there's sap in the trees if you tap them. This is verse 1. There's blood on the seas if you map him. Christian, if you see your papa, tell him I love him. So who is Christian? Roland, who is Christian? He taught me to love in the wild and fight in the gym. He taught me the bottle gives birth to the cup. And you won't get hurt if you just keep your hands up and stand tall like sycamores. Like sycamores. Verse 2, sycamore got to grow down, to grow up. Young roots toil the soil like baby's first cup. And when they bend you in two and say too green for the fire, when all you want to do is be a part of the fire, all you want to do is be part of the fire, like sycamores, like sycamores. And verse 3, there's sap in the trees if you tap them. Going back to the beginning about Christian, when I see your papa, I'll tell him you love him. And remember to love in the wild and fight in the gym. Remember the bottle gives birth to the cup and you won't get hurt if you just keep your hands up. So I think a good part of the song is personal. Someone he probably knows, the reference to Christian, his papa. I could be completely wrong. And you won't, I'll be honest, I know I'm wrong, but when I first read about Christian, it was right after reading Blood on the Seas. I'm thinking Mr. Christian, right? Captain Bligh, but Mutiny on the Bounty. Yeah, I don't think that's it. But that was the first thought. If I'm right on that, I think I'm going to celebrate. If I'm right on that, then holy crap. I mean, that's that's like a Hail Mary pass court in the end zone. Holy crap. But I think it's a mixture of a real personal reference, but also a chance to kind of send a message out to everyone um, that, as things get tough, just keep your hands up and stand tall, right? And you're not going to get hurt. Protect yourself, defend yourself. It can get a little rough out there. And as that happens, try to stand tall like sycamores, like sycamores. So that's what I'm putting that down. I'm saying that's what the song's about. Roland, what do you think? Am I close? Fill me in. Let me know what I'm missing. Or again, I might be totally over the target. But either way, this song really grew on me. It was a pleasure listening to the song. I really did enjoy it. So with that said, Roland, you take care, and everyone else out there who like this, yeah, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Come on. I need to grow this channel. As much as I like doing this, I like to see the channel grow too. Otherwise, I do start to think, am I doing this just for not? Yeah, I get it. Old guy, there's no gimmick. I'm not like, rapper old man who likes rock music, anything else. I'm just me. I get silly and goofy and like that. I get it. But I also love music. I'm totally passionate about music, learning new music, maybe covering some old music that I don't know and just talking about it and loving it all the way. So anyway, that's me. And you out there, let me know about you. Put that in the comments. Just in this song thread, just who are you and why are you connected to this channel? And yeah, and what do you like? What do you want me to listen to? And all that. And check out my Ko-fi site too. There's a link right below. It'll take you to the site where you can absolutely request a song that will guarantee to listen to it, react to it. In the meantime, take care, and I'll see every one of you in the next episode of Into the Music.